Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting Sparks Toyota, and I'm checking out a 2019 Toyota Sienna in the LE trim level. This Sienna is sitting on 235/60 Firestone tires, wrapped around 17-inch alloy wheels with a silver finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. The name of this color is Parisian Night Pearl. Really nice looking blue. Now the grille is a matte black for the most part, but you do have the chrome accent here in the center portion going underneath the emblem, which is also serves as your radar sensor for your adaptive cruise control. And the bezels for the headlights are chrome, but check out, it has these little stripes in there looking pretty neat. The headlights are powered by halogen bulbs for your low and your high beams. The low beams are in a projector tube and the high beams are in a reflector. So looking at the profile, it is body colored all around pretty much. The handles, the side mirrors, everything is that same color, that blue. And then the wheels are blending in with a nice color silver, not too flashy or gaudy or anything, or too big. I think it's a good size for this particular van. And then all your pillars are blacked out here, and it has the privacy glass at the very back. The front glass has been tinted from the dealership, but it does not come from the factory that way. Has a very traditional key. You see the key is just a standard key that you put in and turn, but it does have a little remote control here with the lock and unlock buttons, the power doors, and a panic button. So the power doors, we can go ahead and press and hold that, and then it opens up for you. And the panic button, let's go ahead and press hold that. So you can see what the horn sounds like, and we can always press and hold the button to close the side door. So looking at the passenger side door, you can see it swings out quite wide, plenty of legroom, and the floor is pretty much flush with the threshold, so that way it's pretty easy to get in and out of. So here's the inside of the passenger side door, and it has a bisque interior. Soft touch surfaces around your arm here, as well as up here, and then you have your hard touch surfaces down here. This handle serves as a small pocket as well, and then you have the larger pockets along the bottom. Manually adjusted cloth seats here for the passenger. Has a little bit of a pattern, very soft, plush feeling. And the seats have the armrests there in the center, each one individually. And check out that legroom. I'm going to put all the specs and dimensions and everything in the description so you can check it out, but just visually, there's a little bit of tapering going on right in here. But other than that, it's just wide open. The dash, you have hard touch, soft touch, hard, hard. There's a compartment here. You also have a traditional lockable glove compartment here as well. Smooth plastic on the inside. The sliding doors, you don't have to use the button to open them up. You can simply just go like this. Just pull the handle like so, and it'll activate the power door. Same thing with closing it. Okay, so here's your second row, and check out all the legroom here. Now you can add to use this as a cargo space here in the center by removing all these seats here on the center portion. They're all removable. There's also a center seat here that can be removed independently from the other seats, and there's a storage space in the back to store that if you'd like. These seats do recline. They adjust, they go forward and back, and they articulate quite well. On the back of the front seats, you have a pocket and a little bag holder there, a little hanger. 2 USB charge ports. You also have a 100-watt, 120-volt, like a power inverter here. This opens up and you have some cup holders. Your climate control for the rear is over there behind the driver's seat. You can see it right there. So if you're in the back, you want to sit in that seat so you can control that if you want. That way everybody has to be nice to you, otherwise you're gonna make them cold or make them hot. There are shades on all the windows here in the back. So here on the sliding door, it has a shade, and it unhooks and extends down and hides in the door. You also have a power window, which is automatic, a button to open up the door, and then you have a cup holder and some storage space on the inside of the door as well. So the third row seat is surprisingly high off the floor, so that way if you're tall, your knees aren't sticking off, up in the air as much. And the seats recline quite a bit, and overall pretty good. And it's easy to get back there. Even with the camera in my hand, I can jump back here and look around. Check out the cup holders, storage spaces back here, the shades in the side, and both sides are about the same as far as that. They also have a handle, climate control vents, a hook there for hanging clothes on both sides. You also have the center seat belt extending from the top there when you need to use it. And all these back seats have the latch system for car seats as well. So checking out the back, it has the roof rails on the top there, and they are in a same color as the grille, as the matte black. Shark fin antenna in the body color. You also have a third brake light here at the very top, powered by LEDs. There's also, under here is a windshield wiper, and it's kind of hidden, so that way it extends out when you need it. But I like the way it's completely, you don't see it unless it's actually in use. The taillights are powered by standard bulbs, and the rear camera is way over here. It's right there. So it's super offset. I'm not sure why, but it's not in the middle, obviously. Okay, so here's the tailpipe is somewhat visible there on the right side. So let's go ahead and open up the tailgate here, and it's manual, so you just push the button, it releases it, and it will pretty much go up by itself. Okay, so if you have all the seats occupied with passengers, this is your cargo space, and you notice it goes down there quite a ways. Pretty good size cargo space. You have bag holders on the back of each seat, multiple bag holders. You have a storage space there. This is also a place to put that center seat right in here. So the center seat here is what I'm talking about. That unhooks separately from that seat, and you can fold it up and put it right in there and strap it in place and get it out of your way when you need to. You also have a 12-volt power supply, a little light, little hook right here. You can also put a net pocket back here if you like, and there's a little door that has your tools for your spare tire and a jack and all that stuff. You can also, looks like there's a little bit of space there at the bottom for extra something that you want to bring with you. These headrests are easy to fold down. For one thing, you would fold them down before you fold the seat in. I'll show you that in a second. Another thing is you can push this button to also add to your visibility back here. Okay, so it's real simple to put the seat down. You just pull this handle. You just pull it, and then it gets to a certain point where this folds down like so. So now it looks like that. And then all you have to do now is push down on it. And it's not very hard to push down. So now it stores the seat away if you need to use cargo space. Now, you can fold down one or the other, or both, to add to your cargo space. You can also take the seats out, one or the other, or the center one, or whatever, or move the seats all the way up to add to your cargo space. So you can really get a lot of extra space back here for cargo when you need it, while still being versatile with passengers as well. While we're back here, I want to show you these windows here. You can manually open them up like so, get some airflow in the vehicle, and you can manually close them. And raising the seat and putting it back in place is just as easy, really. You lift up on this like so, and kind of goes into place. It's spring assisted. Now, all you have to do is pull the strap, and it locks in place. So now it's back where it was. So one-handed, I was able to do it, and I'm not exerting myself any at all. So it's pretty easy to operate. Okay, so lowering this tailgate, in this particular case, you just push it down like so. Fuel door is locking, and it's on the driver's side. And it has a traditional cap, tether, and a place to hang the cap on the inside of the door. Okay, so let's go ahead and start it up. And so here we go. Put the key in and turn it. I know there's some people in the comments are going to be lamenting and passing out and surprised that they actually have to turn the key to start it. It seems like a lot of people really like to push start, which that's also an option in the other trim levels. Okay, so here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Floor mat hooks in place, so that way it keeps it in place for you. There's your accelerator and brake pedal, and a footrest. It's a little bit awkward as far as this part, but when I get in the vehicle, I'll show you. And then there's a foot actuated parking brake. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. So you can see this is the hood latch. This is for your fuel door. Okay, so lifting the hood, there's a lever just under here. It's a little bit to the right of center. So right in here, push up on it and lift the hood. The hood has a little bit of weight to it, but it's not so bad because it's not very big. It does require a prop to hold up. So there's the prop here, and there's actually two places. You can see there's an arrow pointing to that one, and there's a second one here. There's a spacer to put in the one that you're not using. So in my case, I want the hood higher, so I'm going to use this lower one. It has an insulated portion underneath the hood. It also has a seal across the front, a seal across the back, and some seals there on the side. This is to help with airflow, but also just noise and you know, vibrations, just try to keep anything from rattling, that kind of stuff, but mostly noise and airflow. Okay, so the battery is easy to get to here on the right side. It does have an insulated firewall. Also, the top of the strut towers are right in here. So this is your suspension, and there's a you know, basically a shock in the front. It's a strut, and it's connected to the structure of the vehicle. So you know, if you ever notice race cars and some sports car vehicles, they'll have a bar that goes from there to the other strut tower. Well, this one is already braced in to the structure of the vehicle, so that's pretty good. Powering this beast is a 3.5 liter dual overhead cam V6 engine paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, an electronically controlled 8-speed automatic transmission. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. Now all the power windows are automatic, one touch up and down. They move quite fast as well. Now you also have the buttons here. These don't go all the way down, they go down to right there. But it is nice to be able to raise and lower them. Door lock controls are here. You also have your side mirror adjustments. Power seat here for the driver. It's able to go up, down, back, tilted the back, and also has a power lumbar adjustment. to the left of the steering column, there's a little storage pocket here with some coin holders or whatever. You also have the traction control off. Default will be on, but you can turn it off in case you need to spin tires. You also have the ability to lock the power doors. So if you don't want the power doors opening up by pushing a button or whatever, let's say you got kids back there, you don't want them playing around with the buttons, you can turn this feature off. You notice the orange part of the top goes away. Push it again, it exposes the orange part. When the orange part is exposed, it's ready to use. You also have a tilt and a telescoping steering column that locks in place with this lever. So the lever's kind of hidden, you just got to know right where it is, pull it down to release it, and push it back up to secure it. Okay, so here we are on the inside, checking it out, sitting in the driver's seat. And one of the things I notice when I get in this vehicle is the spaciousness. It just attempts to get things like the dash and everything out of the way and makes you feel like you have plenty of room. So the dash is recessed over here, the doors kind of thinner over in this area, it just feels like I have more space and less, kind of scrunched up, claustrophobic feeling. So I'm 6 feet tall, I have the seat all the way back, all the way down. And the way the footrest here is, it's kind of like half of a footrest. So if I put my foot here on the very edge, it's okay. But when I go over here, it kind of lifts my foot up a little bit too high. So I guess it depends on your particular preferences there. I mean, I'm sure I could get used to it, but it's a little bit different from the regular footrest. I guess it's kind of neat that it has two different angles. So this one's more forward, this one's more vertical. And so maybe that's good to have that choice or whatever. Okay, so looking at the steering wheel, it's a synthetic type steering wheel. Soft to the touch, it has a simulated leather texturing as well. And it has a decent thickness. Has these little grips up here. Okay, so here on the left side, it has your volume for your radio, change through your audio track or radio station up and down here. Voice recognition and mode. This is your audio source. And then you have your Bluetooth controls here to answer and hang up phone calls. And the cruise control is still down here. So it has the, you can turn it on or off by pushing that button. Once you turn it on, you can set it by pulling it down, resume by going up, or cancel by pulling it in. And it's not just a regular cruise control, it's an adaptive cruise control. So it actually sets, keeps it a set distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. And then that way it doesn't matter what you have it set, it's going to slow you down and keep you from running up on cars while you're driving. So that way you don't have to constantly adjust your speed. So you can set that distance between you and the vehicle in front of you by pushing this button. You just kind of cycle through those bars there and just rest on the one you want. And then this is your lane departure alert system. Once this is activated, you can also turn that on or off. So these buttons correspond with that little screen between the gauges. We'll get to that in just a minute. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right side. On the left side is your turn signal, but it also has your headlight controls, and it gives you the ability to turn off your daytime running lights. You also have automatic, parking, and then your headlights. Okay, so looking at the gauge cluster here, has a nice blue background, easy on the eyes, white lettering that's large enough to see easily. RPMs are there on the left, shared with your engine coolant temperature. On your right is the speedometer shared with your fuel gauge. There in the very center is that little screen I was telling you about. So the screen right now is showing your outside temperature, your odometer at the bottom, digital speedometer in the center, and distance to empty. So you notice those little tabs at the top. You can scroll through those little tabs and you can see each one is a part of a whole menu system here. So starting here with the first one, scrolling down, has your fuel economy, trips, kind of lets you know when time to take a break type thing. There's also a blank screen and then it goes back to the original one. Going to the right just shows you what your radio is doing. Going to the right again, this is your cruise control, your lane departure alert, and your radar system information visualized. Stored messages will show up here, and this is where you can go into your settings and customize what you want. You can go into this right here to go a little bit deeper. Go back out of that. Scrolling to the right again goes back to the original tab. That would be my default, the digital speedometer. I'm accustomed to the digital speedometer in my vehicle, so that's something easy to get used to. You notice it does have the knee bolster airbags down here as well. Okay, so here's your touch screen, and it has physical buttons on the outside as well as a CD player on the very top. Volume, tune through the stations, that's pretty traditional. So right now we're on the home button, which is a split screen. Right, it would show the audio, the phone, and then your trip information here. It also has a nice big digital clock here as well. Let's push the menu button so you can see the different options here. Now the projection is for your Apple CarPlay. So in the 2019 models, they have Apple CarPlay and Alexa. The Amazon Alexa is another thing that's added as well. So a lot of people like to use the Apple CarPlay and all the different features. And also Waze, I think, is added now to the Apple CarPlay capabilities, and you know, the Apple Maps and things like that. All right, let's go to your audio. So you can see the different audio sources here: AM, FM, satellite radio, CD player, USB, Bluetooth, and there's more auxiliary input. So let's go ahead and choose satellite radio. So you can see that what the layout is. It has the presets there at the bottom, has some images up here and what station you're on. Also, you can adjust the sound by going here. And this particular vehicle uses the Android Auto and things for the map. So when I push that, it says Scout GPS link, and it just loads forever. It's not gonna pull up right now. All right, and then your phone and apps, physical buttons here. And these are the different apps that you can use. Now this one still has the Intune system. But you notice these are all grayed out because there's no data right now for these to be used. So like nothing gonna happen. Hopefully I don't have an iPhone, or otherwise I would show off the Apple CarPlay. I'm gonna try to find somebody with an iPad so I can, or an iPod, an iPhone, sorry, that I can plug in here and try to show it off. Somebody that knows about the system, hopefully. Okay, so here's a shifter. You notice it's on the dash, so it's out of the way. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse. So right now it's raining. You actually see the raindrops falling, which is pretty cool. And it has static guidelines. Neutral, drive, sport, and you can change to the gears if you need to. You'll know what gear you're in because it'll show right here. So you can downshift. That's basically what it's used for, is downshifting on hills, give you better engine braking. Okay, so your climate control is for your driver, passenger, and rear. And you have a little display screen here letting you know what's going on. You also have your front and rear defrosters. Where you want the air to blow is the mode. And then you have your temperature for the driver, temperature for the passenger, which you can sync. And when you can sync all three. See there. And then when this is on, you can sync all three like so. I'm going to turn that off. And then the rear temperature you can adjust here. You also have your recirculate the air, turn the AC on or off. And also have automatic, so you can just set the temperature and let it do its thing. And then the rear fan and the front fan are separate. Okay, so down here is a dual cup holder that pops out when you need it and completely out of the way when you don't need it. 12-volt power supply and a USB and auxiliary inputs in here. Storage compartment, and it's rubberized here on the bottom. This would be a good place to put your phone if you need to plug it in here for the Apple CarPlay. The cup holders are here and they're wide enough to fit my phone anyway without a case. You have another 12-volt power supply down here and a large open space for putting a bag or just whatever you need to travel with. Maybe a small cooler. Okay, so there's the cup holders and there's a little bit of illumination in there, which is neat. This is another rubberized surface, so you can lay something down, place to put a pen or something right in here. This lifts up, and there's a large cargo space in there. Now it's all black inside, so it's hard to see, but it actually goes up in under the cup holders a little bit. And it has like a felt liner at the bottom. What I wish they would do is have that felt liner. Let's see if I can get that out. It has this at the bottom. What I think it would be nice is if this was a light color, so that way you can see in there a little bit better. Because it is kind of dark, and when you have a bunch of stuff in there, it just kind of disappears on, you know, that black background, unless the items are light colored. The armrests are here. You can just flip them up or down, driver and passengers. Rearview mirror has the HomeLink garage door opener controls. It's also an auto dim rearview mirror, and it's auto dimming right now because I have this shade over the light sensor. Place to put your shades in here, and it has a foam piece in the back to protect the keep them from rattling around and protect the lenses. Also, if you lift it up and drop it there, is a conversation mirror, so you can see all the passengers. Tap lights. You can have the lights turn on with all together like that, all off, or if you put it in that center position, it will turn on with the door. You also have a roadside assistance button here. These buttons are for opening up the side doors. The visors have mirrors and lights. They also slide, so you can slide them in and out. Have a little clip right here. Same thing on the passenger side. Also, this was covering up the little digital compass there on the side in the rearview mirror. So now the shade dropped down, so you can see it's no longer auto dimming. Okay, so let's look at the visibility in the back. So all the headrests are up and all the seats are there, and you have lots of glass back there to look out of. The pillars kind of line up with the headrest at this angle. Overall, it looks like there's not really a big deal as far as visibility since there's all this glass. So you can back up, you can change lanes, and all that should be fairly straightforward. Alright, so there you have it, 2019 Toyota Sienna. So this is more of a basic model, and hopefully this is helpful. Thank you for watching, and thank you to Sparks Toyota here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for allowing me to show off another awesome vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time.